This is Actualize Freedom, straight talk on growing clicks and conversions on Amazon FBA from people doing it every day. Now here's your host, digital marketing acrobat, Danny Kenji Carlson.
What's up, guys? Danny Carlson here with the Actualize Freedom podcast, and we have on another encore guest. There's not too many people who come back on the podcast due to popular demand, but this guy's episode was quite popular, and in my opinion, he's doing some of the most interesting stuff with software in the Amazon space right now. We're just chatting a little bit before this episode, and the things that he's doing when it comes to rebates and using rebates to launch and rank on Amazon are, I don't know anyone else is doing this kind of stuff. And he's got some very interesting strategies and software tools that he's building around this. So this is going to be one of these short episodes, super tactical, super to the point. And I'd like to welcome back to the podcast, Mr. Troy Johnston from Seller.Tools. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Very, very honored to be back on. So really appreciate it.
Boom. You were one of the select few
yeah,
repeats.
Thank you.
Repeats here. Awesome, man. So let's dive right into it. Just give people an overview of what are you working at, what are you working on at Seller.Tools when it comes to rebates?
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of really cool things right now. Of course, for Amazon sellers, we're still in what I kind of consider the golden era of utilizing Manychat to complete some of your most important objectives in an Amazon business. And what we've really aimed to do, and I think the team has done a really great job of this, of layering over features, functionality, and automations to facilitate all of that. So it keeps your teams lean while, again, kind of completing those highest value activities, ranking, reviews, list building, all at once. And so, of course, we're gravitating towards rebates. We know with full purchase buys, and how we can customize that in our Manychat flows, we can check off all of those boxes so we can reliably rank and for all of our most important keywords, and do that really, really fast, and use technology to facilitate all of it. You know, so it's really, really cool what we've been working on. Of course, I'm biased, but the feedback has been exceptional as well. It's really taken off, and this whole year, 2020. It has just been immensely successful. So we're excited to see it really, really take hold.
Yeah, and I agree that it's very unique and interesting what you guys are doing. And you guys are taking something that's very complex. There's a lot of moving pieces to doing some Manychat bots for launching and ranking on Amazon, and then sending people the rebates and everything like that. But you guys, I think, have done a beautiful job of really automating a lot of that and taking out a lot of the moving pieces that could go wrong, but then also are very time consuming for Amazon sellers. And something this complex, I can tell you from experience, it's not easy to set up a process to get a virtual assistant to go actually do all of this correctly. And then you're relying on this virtual assistant to, hopefully do the thing that's going to make your product launch and rank, and your investment not go down the toilet. So can you explain a little bit, like, what exactly are some of the automations that are built into this that make things easier?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So there's two really important things that we do to make this approachable to sellers at any level. And one of the things that we've done is that we've actually made the flows that utilize, so the Manychat flows, essentially the process that Manychat facilitates, takes a customer through via Messenger. We make those totally free. And we do that because we want it to be approachable. Of course, we want to welcome more folks into our community and start leveraging this technology. And so it keeps, your time investment is the only thing that's required there. But the second thing is Manychat provided, and that is the use of templates. This has been such a game changer for us because we get that knack. It's kind of the bittersweet thing with me overseeing a lot of the marketing pieces, is that we're almost too advanced. And it's like people want to grow to that level of their business, but it always seems too far off or too complex. But with Manychat templates, it's literally, it can be a 60-second process. It can be a 2-minute process. We are literally plugging in the information that you need for even words that you've never heard before. Like, we use API keys. We tell you and let you know exactly where to find it, where to add it in the template. And it's a addition and a button click. And you're done. You're all set up and ready to go. So you're going to notice this if you start working with these templates, start downloading our free flows. We've intentionally created them where you're adding in 5, 6 different items, and that is it to capture and utilize these immensely powerful, we can say with great confidence, high-level sellers as our team has really come into the software space after selling and growing and scaling Amazon businesses. These are the same exact things being utilized in those businesses to great effect. So we're leveraging both of those pieces. We've made flows free, totally accessible, and then the template process has made them about as close to plug and play as you can get. Enough to where you still know what's going on. Obviously, you don't want to click a button and, like PPC automation without knowing PPC strategy. It's you're kind of asking for it there, but enough to be game ready, to be live ready, and leverage these more advanced pieces with quick setup.
Yeah, and I think that's so important as a business owner to understand what you're doing, but just realize when you're in over your head as far as learning a skill set, because learning the skill set of setting up some Manychat flows and then creating some, API, some fancy API software stuff that will integrate with all these different things and automatically get some gift cards and send rebates and all these things, that's well outside of my pay grade. But as a business owner, understanding, okay, how does this strategy really work and what are the key moving pieces that need to happen and how it operates, that's really important because that allows you to understand when things are going correctly, when they are not going correctly, how to, evaluate someone that you have hired to do the job. So I think you're spot on with that. Is recommend people should understand what they're doing, but then once you're past that point, realize you're in over your head and should not spend the next 3 months learning on becoming a software expert to try to set something like this up. And tell us a little bit about what really caught my attention that was interesting was the whole wallet feature that you have with the software. Can you explain how that works?
Yeah, so it's really a intentionally kind of a stripped down, centralized wallet is really how it functions, where you can add funds, but use those funds for some of the different activities, and notably here for rebate automation, use those funds for gift cards. And we're continually growing the pool and options of gift cards, which is something we have a really great competitive advantage on for rebates, because so many are still using kind of the old school, they're still using PayPal, which some of the less than trustworthy brands still utilize. So of course we want to create that point of difference. And by utilizing the wallet and using these gift cards, it's a safe and effective way of creating that separation while using gift cards like Visa. We can actually create and send those in a manual fashion. All you have to do is, if you look in the wallet, is send gift card, you pick Visa, you double confirm the email so we make sure we're sending it to the right person. Then you pick the amount. And it's as simple and as easy as that if you start running a manual rebate process. And I mean, really just kind of a quick note there too, is because we're talking about rebate automation, is don't hesitate. If you're just getting started, I would encourage people to think about how you can add in those manual pieces, especially when you're sending money. That's when there's a little bit more skin in the game, right? And you want to make sure you're comfortable with that process. And we kept that in mind as we developed this wallet feature. So there's the ability to manually send gift cards. You can manage the funds in that wallet view as well. And then it has a running log of transactions. Anytime you add funds, anytime you do create or send those gift cards, you can see it all in one dashboard. Again, this is where it's really elevated more than PayPal, where you may be mixing business and personal. Not even to mention, you're using friends and family to send money to customers. That's not really a safe practice either. And so we really try to address all of those shortcomings by creating something that's native in one place. You can see your wallet balance. And by the time our chat goes live here, Danny, we'll also have things like auto top up. We're going to have global marketplace gift cards. We're just really going deep on making this as seamless of a process as possible for utilizing those funds to great effect. So yeah, it's a pretty cool intuitive dashboard to be able to utilize for rebates.
Yeah, and just to clarify, that is your company actually purchasing the gift cards on the behalf of the client. So it's not actually coming from the client accounts, which I found really interesting. And can you clarify for people why you don't recommend using PayPal to rebate their customers?
Yeah, we really, those were some of the big things, is the friends and family designation, and that obviously being problematic because as close as you feel to your customers, they're not your friends and family. Then you have the fee considerations. Then you have bulk payments. Then you have, the dashboard. I think I mentioned that. But then also just from a branding perspective, some of the biggest brands that we work with and we're already part of the suite of tools as users, we're really excited about the idea of kind of getting away from the PP rebate process, and how we could really just elevate that and have a lot more polish in that experience. And so one of the cool things is as part of our 2 initial gift cards is that we rolled out Visa, and it's in such stark contrast to PayPal because you have the trust, you have the authority, you have the universal use. When people see Visa, it's a whole different perception than saying, "Hey, send me your PayPal email and trust me to send a gift card." And something not to overlook is because we deliver our rebates via email, it is far superior than getting. We actually kind of did a little bit of an internal audit as a team. Is looking at our PayPal emails, they're old. They're usually not emails that we are actively utilizing, and we're doing the polar opposite. We're actually sending rebates to emails that, in order for a customer to get that value, they've got to give you a open, ready. Probably they're using daily email, and for our list building efforts, we love that. That's almost in and of itself worthy of making that transition. So those 5 or 6 things are kind of what we call attention to as to, hey, what really focused our attention to a better option, as you alluded to as well, with the Amazon gift card option, being worried about the unsafe practice of buying Amazon gift cards and then sharing those gift cards and that direct link, and the perception from Amazon as to how that looks. We view that as an unsafe practice, and that's where we can facilitate and ensure that that's not an issue, because we serve as that sort of that separate node in the chain where the request to send is created. We create that gift card and then effectively send it while still on your behalf. It's not you doing it directly. So much safer from our perspective.
Yeah, I think it's a great solution for that problem. And Seller.Tools looks like the most generous company in the world with how many gifts they're buying for all of their employees and friends and family and everything like that. It's just really giving it back.
Yeah, we've done now over 1 million, and we've only been doing the rebate and rebate automation for only a few months, and we've done over 1 million. So yeah, you can bet the folks that we work with, they're like, wow, we got on their radar fast. But they love it, and we love it too, because again, on the fee side, on the authority side, the safety side, all the concerns with considering other options. And that's another thing we do. We don't charge on like a per transaction fee or even a per gift card fee. When you fund the wallet, as sellers ourselves, we don't want that nickel and diming feel of like, oh man, I'm growing, but then somebody's shaving off every transaction. That when you fund the wallet, you'll have an upfront fee. Again, this will be rolled out hopefully as it goes live. We'll have both a credit card and ACH as payment options, and they have their own respective fees, but they're immensely competitive. If you were to go out and buy a gift card from a reliable source and try to do that at scale, we've made sure that you're really getting the best option on all fronts: cost effectiveness, reliability, authority with Visa. And then more options too. You're going to see that as we move into additional marketplaces where sometimes MasterCard's preferred, or you need Amazon in that market, whether it's UK, whether it's Germany. We're going to have all of those boxes checked as well.
Excellent. And we have time to go down one more kind of rabbit hole here. I'd love to hear, what would you recommend as if you're an Amazon seller listening to this and you had to just choose one strategy when it comes to using rebates? what would you recommend? Just kind of an overview of like, okay, you're going to run this type of Facebook ad and it's going to go to a flow that does this and sends rebates, for example.
Yeah, I mean, your three major steps in a rebate flow is your offer. It is your order verification, so confirming that there is a valid offer, or excuse me, a valid order linked to the fulfillment or the completion of that offer from the customer's perspective. And then there's the rebate piece itself. So I think taking that 1,000-foot view and understanding the kind of the specific buckets that you need to address, and then looking at your Facebook ad offer itself and following a few best practices. Having your main product image, if you're using search, find, buy, having that main image in your Facebook ad is going to be really important, because this is probably somebody who's never seen your product, not familiar with your brand. They need to know exactly where they're going, what they expect to see, because when they click through that flow, your offer in the really the initial messaging needs to be clear, and it needs to set the expectations for what the customer is receiving, as well as the rebate piece itself. And so this is where, when we're talking about doing this manually, not hesitating to manually verify orders and then manually complete rebates. You've already got kind of 2/3 of the equation. Then you can spend your time on that front end of the Facebook ad. And often this is where a lot of times sellers get bogged down, because they feel like, oh man, now I have to become a Facebook ad expert and a Manychat expert, and then they know the sophistication that we offer, and they feel like they have to do that, whether that's true or not, and become a Seller.Tools expert. But that's not absolutely essential. But where we see folks struggle is in that initial piece of really clarifying the offer, setting expectations with the customer as to what they're getting in this process. And that's where, like I said, the Facebook ad is making it compelling, making the main image really stand out, and then having that congruence as they get directed to Messenger and saying, thank you so much for your interest in our offer. This is what you're getting. This is the rebate. If you're offering a Visa gift card, if a customer is maybe acclimated to PayPal, or has not taken part in a rebate before on Facebook, which is great. Hey, that might be a higher quality buyer. Just clarifying exactly what they're getting, and then letting them know, hey, we just need your order ID to verify your eligibility for this rebate. And then finally, knocking out that last rebate step as well. Not even necessarily adding in, you don't need to add in review capture or any extra additional pieces if you're just starting out with this. But if you can get warmed up to that, you're well on your way to really getting a foundational understanding. And one other thing I would add too is I always throw in there, use a ref URL if you're uncertain or not confident. It's a growth tool in Manychat where if you have an existing list that you can utilize, give them your initial offer, kind of work out the kinks, get more comfortable with that. But for those not familiar, that's all it really is. It's a unique link where if somebody clicks through, they're brought to your first step in your flow. If they haven't opted in, they need to click get started, and then they're taken through some of the from there to the subsequent steps. So that's always a great option if they're just not really comfortable with the Facebook ad piece.
Yeah, guys, and a ref URL is super simple. Like Troy said, you do a few clicks around Manychat in the interface, and you just create a growth tool, and boom, someone clicks on it, they get into the start of the flow. Very, very simple. So that was a very, very action-packed episode right there. If people want to learn more about this tool or reach out to you online, where's the best place for them to do so?
Yeah, if you're really interested specifically in rebate automation, if you go to our website, you're going to find Seller.Tools under the navigation. We actually have a dedicated page for rebate automation. You actually even want to type it in. It's Seller.Tools/rebate automation. It's a dedicated page to these resources. We have walkthrough videos. We have the free flow. It's fully built out that you can download and really get started with it right away. But it has, like I said, the resources, the flows, information. We really just want to centralize all of that. And as we get more questions, we add those in as FAQs. So it's a very active resource to make sure you feel comfortable with it. And then if you want our suite of more than, I think there's almost like more than a dozen free flows, free Manychat flows. If you visit Seller.Tools/Manychat, feel free to take full advantage. And those get to be both simple and more complex. Really, really cool stuff that we can do with some of the automation pieces. Then, of course, we've got our Facebook group, FBA Kings, which is another place where we encourage folks to crowdsource ideas or share their successes, their challenges. But it's a great way to make sure that the potential of automating rebates and some of the other things that we do are taken to that next level.
Awesome, Troy. And guys, you saw some of it here in this episode, but Troy is one of the guys who's putting out some really high quality content in the Amazon FBA space and has been since he started his new company here, Seller.Tools. So if you're looking for a good, reliable source of good Amazon information and good content, definitely go check out FBA King's Facebook group. I always take a look at the new videos he puts out and everything like that. It's always good stuff. And if you're looking for any of the links we mentioned here, resources from this episode, you can find those at actualizefreedom.com. And if you haven't already, go leave us a review. An easy way to do that, go to ratethispodcast.com/free. ratethispodcast.com/free. And I love you guys for doing that and leaving a review because it is hard to get reviews. You guys are Amazon sellers. You guys realize the struggle. And I don't have any fancy Manychat flows like Troy does to get reviews. So you guys are my only source. I'm relying on you. So, thank you very much for your time, Troy. And until next time, guys, kick some ass.
For show notes and resources mentioned in this episode, visit kenjiroi.com.